House team.
We are going to explain how great student-led conferences are
And the benefits for everyone involved.
Some of the benefits for the student-led conference include
builds leadership/communication skills.
Reasoning behind academic performance.
celebrate positive achievements.
Student voices in future goal setting.
encourages student and parent communication.
See? The benefits are amazing! Now you have the opportunity to watch a student-led conference in action and prepare for your own conference next week.
You're so lucky.
This message has been approved by Dr. Berkmeyer.
Welcome to student-led conferences.
Hi, I'm Nikki Stowell.
Hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too.
Thank you for reading my letter about student-led conferences. Now I'm just going to show you my grades. So first I'm going to show you my science grade. If you look here at Infinite Campus, right now I have a 97.9 in this class. This is all the tests I have taken in this class. So as you can see, that I got a 95, 100, 100, and then these are what they call non-academic indicators for other assignments, and I got 4s on most of them.
What are some of the non-academic indicators?
So what I've done are, I can show you these as we go along, and I'll just let you know what they are. Okay, so that was just a pre-test. Here is one of our quizzes, which is for regular grade. This is something that's a non-academic indicator. This is what we did in our packet. So that's just worksheets we filled out when we had to know the elements. Then this is included in that packet. These are just all those papers that were for the non-academic indicator. You can see there's a lot of these. Some are for separate units, like this one right now is for minerals. Then this is our characteristic test for minerals. We got mineral samples and we had to figure out what the luster, the streak color, the hardness, and if it was cleavage or fracture. On these two, I got the hardness wrong because it appeared to look like it was scratching it, however it wasn't. It was actually getting scratched for this one, and I didn't realize that the penny could also scratch it, so I just probably needed to go back and check again. And then that's it for that test, and this is another non-academic indicator. The most recent test we took is this. We had a test, and these were the multiple choice questions. Then we had a carton full with minerals, and we had to identify them. So here's all, they were all labeled, and then we just had to fill it out. So that's science. Next I'm going to show you my language arts. If you look right here, my language arts is down as 100, however there's one recent quiz grade that's not in there yet. So we had to figure out how we were doing with also these non-academic indicators. And so I use my writer's notebook consistently for, I write between 1/2 and 1 full page of writing my notebook per assignment. 4, I study my vocabulary regularly, which is several nights a week. I give myself a 3 usually because I study it so I know it for the quiz. However, I don't do it several nights. I should probably maybe start doing that more often. 4, I ask questions when I do not understand and need further explanation. 4, I know what is expected of me in reading and writing for this year. 3, I always have a conference with myself before asking others for help. Most of the time I do this, but sometimes I ask for help before really thinking it over on my own. 4, I read and annotate my article of the week in a timely manner and review it often throughout the week. I do it every day when we get it, right then. I keep track of the books I read and set personal reading goals. I do set the goals, but I give myself a 3 because I read a lot, and so sometimes it's hard to keep track of all of it, so I just need to start doing it after every book, not waiting in stretched periods of 5 books when I can't remember that in the number of pages and author. I turn my assignments on time. I give myself a 3 because there was 2 times when I left one of my note card one time and my article one time. I left them at home the night before when I was working on them and studying them, and I did not bring those to class that day. So that's just one thing, but we fixed that when we bought separate language arts binders, so now I'm more organized for that class. And then 4, I complete all homework assignments. These are what she calls essential skills. When I read, I can identify the author's purpose and intended audience and evaluate its argument and evidence. I give myself a 4 for all of these. There's just 2 more if you want to read those.
Okay.
So that's language arts. Now I'm going to show you my math grades. I have a couple of samples in here, but not all of them, and excluding our most recent test, because I have not got that back. We are getting it back today. So for here, these are also the non-academic indicators, so we have to do it ourselves, and then my teacher will come in and they'll fill out what they think. So I give myself all 4s on these things, except for 2 of them. Works well in groups. Sometimes I always prefer to work by myself, and I work a lot better by myself, so that's just something I can work on. So that's where I have it down here, and areas of need for improvement also. And it says, takes initiatives to explore and expand learning. I do that sometimes, but not always, and so that's also something I could work on. One of my strengths, however, from this chart is working well independently. That's how I work best, and I also have strengths in a lot of these other things. I'm just not going to mention them all. Then over here is my math code tracking sheet for the equations unit. So on the test, I got a 98%, and on the quiz, I got 100%. So I missed one question on that test, and it's right here. It was question number 18, and this was the problem and the answer. I made a mistake and forgot to plug in A for X and solve. So I did not plug it back in to solve, so I just put that as the answer. So that's just a silly mistake that I need to probably double check. So my goal for the next unit, which was this unit, to get another A and not to make silly mistakes. That's what I tried to do this time. And then, what behavior do I need to demonstrate in order to achieve my goal? The same behavior as before, which is my usual behavior, because I work very well in that. This is an example of one quiz we took from that unit. So these are all the questions, and this is how she grades. She just puts C's by everything you have correct. And so this is just an example of what we've learned so far.
I got a lot of C's too, but they weren't because they were correct.
Okay, and here's my geography grade. So this unit was Canada and climate, and I also included 1 grade for the U.S., which is what we are working on right now.
Okay.
So this is on the test. These are the questions that I missed. I missed 1 question. It was on the climate graph, and it didn't have a number, so I just didn't write that there. So I misread the graph, and so on one side there's bars and lines. One side was for the bars, one side was for lines, and I misread that, and so that was just another silly mistake that I probably should have checked over. So down here, the Canada Met quiz, I got 100. Canada Climate, I got a 95, and so what he did though, it was the DCA, the district thing, and there's 2 questions that he didn't like because they're kind of trick questions, so he gave everyone an extra point for those, even if that wasn't the one you missed. So that actually got bumped up to 100, but I just wrote down both grades so I can explain that better. Okay. And then the most recent thing, the USA Map quiz about the features and states, I got 100 on that quiz. So this was that test right here, so I can show you what the graph is. It's right here, this graph, and it was there, but I was looking over here up at that. So that was just my one problem, so I just needed to go back and relook at that. Other than that, that was good. These are the questions that he didn't like. It said, who is the actual head of Canada's government, which is the Prime Minister. And then it says over here, who is the head of state for Canada's government, and that is the British monarch, not the Prime Minister. But he just thought those were almost like trick questions, so that's why. This is my Canada map quiz, not the US one. And it just looks like this, and you just had to write it down. Okay. Over here is my World Geography US Map quiz. There was everything labeled up on a slide, and you just had to write down the states, the lakes, and physical features. There's 3 different slides, and that's how we do geography. Okay. So really quickly, those past few things, I'll show you the grades for that. Geography is 100, and math right here is a 97.8. So one of the last things I'm going to be showing you is my physical education grade, and right there I have 100 in that class. Here is my scores that I got on all the fitness gram tests. My best one was the sit-ups, in which I got 80, and I could work on the other ones, but they're pretty good. I was just 1 level behind what was expected on most of them, and then 2 of them I was right there. So these are just those non-academic indicators for self-assessment. These 2 you wanted to get 1s, obviously. That's why I put those, and then these are just the rest. We haven't set our winter goals yet, but that's what we'll be doing soon. And on the back right here is just what we've learned, what our strengths are, what we need to work on, our goal, and how we will achieve the goal, and then distractions that may get in the way of accomplishing these goals. That's what we have done. And that's all my grades. So all you have to do now is the self-assessment papers. And then you have right over there your scoring guide for failing. And then
I think so too.
Okay.
What is the part of your conference that you're most proud of?
Of this conference, probably proud of what I got to show you. I was probably proud that I did really good work on all that.
Okay. Anything you want to improve on from next time at the conference?
I think I did a pretty good job. I was pretty organized too. I don't really know what I would need to improve on. Maybe talk a little slower. Was I talking too fast?
You kind of talk a little fast, but I do too, so I'm used to you as your mother.
So that's what I can work on for next time. Then this is write a goals. We should probably do that after we do the scoring guide.
Okay. And I would agree with you. I do think your presentation skills are advanced. I think that you do a really good job of making eye contact and using your vocabulary to get your message across. Your portfolio was very well put together. I could tell that from the samples you provided where you're doing well, and those couple you picked out the ones that did show where you needed to maybe slow down and go over things a second time. And then your student reflection, I do think that you did a good job of describing what your strengths are, and yeah, I think you did a good job.
Thank you. Okay, so before we do the school, there's just a survey that you need to fill out.
Okay.
And that'll be it. Thanks for coming, Mom.
All right, well, look, can we work on the goal? So a goal to continue your academic success and growth. Do you want to make that for a specific class?
Well, this says something can be study skills, organization, planning, or specific to a class. So, I think that my goal should probably just be my organization, because that can affect me in all classes, along with double-checking my work. So I think my goal should be that. Do you have any idea of how we could write that?
I think the way that you said it actually was pretty spot on.
Okay.
And then steps to achieve the goal, how can we as parents help you achieve that goal? Would it help you if I asked to look at it every night to kind of be an accountability partner?
That could help. That's good. And then for my other goal,
You can put your dad in charge of keeping up on that one since he
checking
likes
over my work on all tests. I could probably put, well, the only step I would need is just to make sure I double check, honestly.
Yep.
Okay, so I think that's good.
Good
Thank
job.
you. Then if you can just fill out the survey, then we'll be good to go.
Good. Thank you.